If you set up an LLC in Wyoming, you actually need a registered agent. This person has no power of your company, but you need a registered agent who is in the public register. So it's an anonymous company by law. The banking is absolutely great. Chase, JP Morgan, which is the best bank in the world, at least $10 million on JP Morgan, even to be a JP Morgan client. And it's just easy to send a 500K wire there, $5 million wire there, and it's not possible with most banks in the world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Aziz, Samuel Abdul Aziz Bubaus. I'm the CEO and founder of the Whole Wealth Group, from wealth consulting to wealth corporate service provider to wealth estate to private processing. And in today's video, I will share with you 10 reasons why US LLCs are still the best company setup in the world. So let's jump right into the video. So guys, welcome back to Dubai. I just came from a long trip in the US. I didn't really have time to film anything in the US, but I decided once I'm back here in the new upgraded office here in Dubai at the Emirates Towers, I will give you a summary of my trip and I will share with you why US LLCs are still a no-brainer, why still 90% of our clients, even if they are located in the UAE, for example, use a US LLC. So let's start with these 10 reasons. The first reason is, and this is not some shady offshore gray zone thing that I try to explain you here. No, these companies are anonymous by law. Because if you set up a company, for example in Wyoming, you actually need a registered agent. So you need a person in the US. This person has no power of your company, cannot open bank accounts or anything, but you need a registered agent who is in the public register. So if you set up an LLC in Wyoming in the public register, you have, for example, Robin Jones or some registered agent, but they can't find you in this register anywhere, especially in Wyoming. So it's an anonymous company by law, which means nobody in the world knows that you are the actual owner. And they wanted to do this beneficial owner report, but it's not really the case. So companies in the US are 100% anonymous, which is definitely great for you. Advantage number 2 of US LLCs are that they can be totally tax-free for non-US citizens, non-US residents. It's exactly the same. It's not some gray zone or shady idea. It's actually the system, and it's a loophole for non-US citizens, non-US residents. If they don't have too much substance in the US, no physical presence in the US, and some key requirements to be tax exempted, of course. It's just important for you. Number 1, little disclaimer, this here is obviously no tax advice at all, and we from Wealth Consulting anyways always recommend to build your holistic international structure with multiple tax advisors to be bulletproof. But to just break it down, if you have a manager of your US LLC in the right country, and if you as the single owner live in the right country, especially in a country which has, for example, a non-dom program, or a country which has a territorial taxation system, like for example Thailand or Malaysia or Singapore, or if you live in a zero tax country like UAE or Qatar or Saudi or Oman or Vanuatu, or if you live in a country for a short period of time which gives you a tax exemption like Japan, then the US LLC can be 100% tax-free for you. Advantage number 3 of US LLCs, and another reason why US LLCs are full no-brainer, is the banking. Even if you don't want the anonymous advantage, even if you don't want that it's tax-free, and for example you decide that a UAE company is holding the US company, it's still great because of the banking access. The banking is absolutely great. I just came back from my trip in Miami. I opened a lot of bank accounts for all of our clients. And of course, you can get started with online banks like Wise, like Relay, like Mercury, but most important is that you have access to the real US banks, which are still great because you have, for example, Chase, JP Morgan, which is the best bank in the world. So if you're struggling right now because you're worried that you have too much money on your bank accounts, don't worry. As a Chase JP Morgan client, it's basically nothing and you will just feel more relaxed. It's also what I analyzed with my business partner a few years ago. Before I did this, we were always worried, oh, I have 300K there, 500K there. Now we say, okay, at least $10 million on JP Morgan. Even to be a JP Morgan client, of course, it can be easier with Chase JP Morgan, but to be real JP Morgan client, you need this amount of money under management. So we don't need to worry anymore. And it's just easy to send a 500K wire there, $5 million wire there to this supplier, to this company, and it's not possible with most banks in the world. And this is definitely great in the US. The banking system is just great. Obviously, if you make ads, for example, credit cards are absolutely great. If it's something that you're into, travel hacking is great. But yeah, the banking is really something really, really nice. And maybe you don't like the banking system, but overall, if you realize, hey, I have a bank like Chase JP Morgan, I have my private banker, every day I can send wires for a lot of money, it's just hassle-free, headache-free, because we see it with so many banks around the world, how much time it takes, how much calling and saying, look, it's for there, and KYC, and I ask you questions again. Why? Once you have a good Chase JP Morgan bank account, no headaches forever. We never saw this issue, and we have endless amounts of clients. We manage a lot of 7, 8, 9, 10 figure business. Once you have the bank accounts, you can send unlimited wires, high wires, and no issues at all. So the banking with your US LLC is absolutely great. Yes, most people struggle to get good banking, but that's why we're here. We open bank accounts for our clients every single day, and there are usually two routes. Either you make the regular setup and you wait until you have your ITIN, then you just fly to our bankers in the US, to Chase or Bank of America or Citibank, and you open your bank account directly there, your corporate bank account and your personal bank account if you want so, and then you're in the banking system, and then in the future you can even open bank accounts remotely once you're in the system. Or we have clients who say, hey, I need local banking today, but I don't have any history in the US, or guys, I want that you manage the bank account for me, and then we offer bank account management services. So I or we as the company open the bank accounts for our clients, manage the company under circumstances. So banking is absolutely great. The next advantage of your US LLC is that also, only if it's really right, with the right setup, if you don't have too much substance in the US, if you are not subject to US income tax, if you make your money outside of the US, it's totally accounting free, no bureaucracy, nothing that you need to file, only a short report every year. Again, no tax advice at all, but overall, it's a loophole because you're not subject to US income tax. It's just hassle-free, no headache, not so many things that you need to figure out. It's absolutely great. And this is already advantage number 5. And this is the flexibility of US LLCs. For example, right now, I opened a few new companies in the US. One is called XYZ Trading LLC, another one is called XYZ Consulting LLC, another one is called XYZ E-Commerce LLC, and so on. And for all this, I don't need a special license. So overall, the LLCs give you a lot of flexibility, and you can do e-commerce with this company. You can cash out crypto with this company. You can send a lot of wires. You can send invoices. You can use all kinds of activities with this company. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. You can use it for business. You can use it for personal things to some degree. Just overall really flexible, and the system just still works because yes, we live in a changing world, but until now, US is still the world leader, US is controlling the world, and this is just why the system works, and everything in the world is connected to the US banking system. And I know BRICS is developing, I mean, look where I'm located, but right now you can't do the same things in Russia or in China, so US still offers you the best system with great flexibility. Advantage number 6 is the great reputation of your US LLC. If companies all over the world hear about your US LLC, nobody is actually thinking that the US is a tax haven, everybody thinks that the US is a company with great reputation and it's perceived worldwide as, wow, a big US LLC. Nobody's thinking that you can just do it remotely and have an easy setup. So the reputation is absolutely great. Of course, the US is controlling the world until now. You're not really facing any restrictions because they restrict, but they don't get restricted. So you can do business in every single country and it's perceived actually really, really great. Another advantage, advantage number 7, as I already told, is number 1, that you just have this great credit cards like American Express or, for example, Chase Inc. So in a short period of time, you can build a huge credit line of maybe 50 or 250K. Again, you have anyways insane amounts of access to funding, but it's just great to pay for your ads, to have a lot of advantages when it comes to travel hacking. Guys, I don't invest much time there, but I'm always saying I'm flying Emirates first class every month, Etihad first class every month, Singapore Airways first class every month, because I manage travel hacking and I can explain you, of course, if you work with us anyways, how to do this very, very easily. So the credit cards are actually really great and it's not that difficult to get them. So if you have a new business, it takes 2 or 3 months and then you have good credit cards. And for the personal part, of course, you need to build some substance, but we can help you with it if you really need it. Advantage number 8 of US LLCs is obviously payment processing, and there's no alternative in the world, to make it really short. So even here you see that it's difficult for us in the UAE with good payment processing worldwide. So even here, and we have Wealth Consulting in the US also for these purposes, is to have good payment processing, to just receive payments all over the world, because you can't change the world and most people are paying with credit cards. So you need good credit card payment processing, especially for your e-commerce business. An e-commerce business without good credit card payment processing, it's not a real e-commerce business. So you need good payment processing, and in the US are most good banks which offer you payment processing, real payment processing companies which are fully underwritten by the bank. Like I'm always telling you in every single videos, private processing, we work one-on-one with these banks, with these processors. So you have your private processing, the private banking of the payment processing world. And of course you have Stripe, Shopify payments. So payment processing is absolutely great with your US LLC. Advantage number 1 of US LLCs is access to funding. When you spend some time in the US, then you realize, hey, the system is built on fiat money. And I know we all criticize this, but it's just a situation and you need to still see how to make the most and get most of the money through the system to you. And you have this access to this money in the US, and you really realize the system is built on printing money and giving it away and investing it. And you see that there are so many companies which are just focused on venture capital, merchant cash advance, on loans. If you need funding, it's easy to get this in the US. Either you find private investors, the bank can give you money. With good payment processing, you get merchant cash advance. So this payment processing companies look at you and they see, for example, you make $2 million per month. We can give you $4 million as funding to boost your business. So the access to money is on another level in the US. It's just not conservative. It's very easy. You don't need to prove that much. It's insane sometimes. It's almost hard for us to even understand that this is possible. Like when you're from Europe or living in the Middle East. Yes, here you can also build credit score, but the access to capital is on a completely different level in the US. And advantage number 10 of your US LLC, if you want to focus on the US market, it's the biggest market in the world, especially for e-commerce. You have more than 350 million people who are next level consumers, who all pay with credit cards, who buy everything online. So when you are already successful in Europe, for example, you can be 10 times more successful in the US because you have so many end clients, you have so many consumers, you have so many affiliates, you have so many great business-friendly laws. It's just so easy to sell in the US. The market is just great and there's no reason why you shouldn't sell to the US. It's just a no-brainer. And these were my 10 reasons for today to incorporate a US LLC, or maybe you have a US LLC, but you realized in this video that you're not maximizing this US LLC because maybe you don't have good banking, or you don't have good credit cards, or you don't have good payment processing, or overall your structure just doesn't make any sense. Today we also filmed a video about good payment processing with a US LLC, so you should watch this one. But overall, we can just look at your current situation and then we just see how to maximize everything. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Write your questions into the comments, and if you want to learn more about how we can help you to grow and protect your wealth, then just go to wealthconsulting.com, book a call with us, and I would say see you at the call, see you in the next video, or see you in real life.